there, friends and sane persons, and welcome to another episode of Wednesday Whimsy. My name is Kyle, and Wednesday Whimsy is a short show that I do every Wednesday evening where I talk about a board game, a top 10 list, or some other board game related topic, whatever I happen to be in the mood for. Well, I'm talking fast today because I've got a lot to cover. As I mentioned last time, it's time for the biannual Top 100 list. This is a project I do every other year where I go through, I make a list of the games that I like most, and then I limit those to just 100. I love lots of games. There's so many amazing games out there, and there's so many that I love playing, so it's real difficult to make a list. I used a combination of sources to make this. I used that ranking engine, that PubMeeple ranking engine. I then compared that against my last list. I also just kind of went through and looked at all the games I had and saw if there was anything that I was like, you know what, I haven't played that for a while, but it really might be on the list. And then I came up with a ranked list based on that. This is my personal preference as of today. It'll change, I'm sure. So without much more ado, I'm just going to talk really quickly about these games because there's a lot to cover. But let's go. And I don't have the sort of pop-up numbers for this one, so we're just going to use banners. Number 100 is a game that I discovered during the COVID times. This was one that was kind of a surprise. It kind of looked ugly to me. The game, but it was the kind of game that you could really play well alone. And essentially, it's how should I say it? It's like a dungeon crawl game or an RPG. Where you don't, you sort of do the whole experience, but you don't have to worry about finding someone to run it for you. The game is called Hexplore It. There are four of them. Yeah. There's the Dead King, which you see here. There's the Forests of Avalon. There's a sand one, and there's a vampire one, and there's a fifth one that's coming out. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. It's not much of a looker, I'll just warn you there, but it's a really enjoyable game if you can get into it, get through the rules, and just have a good time. Really kind of just become the character and have a great experience. That's my number 100, Hexplore It. Let's go to my number 99. My number 99, this is one I struggled to place because I really enjoy this one. I just haven't played it in a little while, and that's because I think it needs a bit more content. This is Invincible, the hero building game. I still like it quite a lot. I did an episode of Wednesday Whimsy about it a year or so ago when it came out. This is sort of a deck building game, not deck building, bag building game, and it follows the stories of the first season of Invincible. The components aren't great, and that kind of takes it down a little bit. But the gameplay is really fun. You're going to be your character, and you're pulling these tokens out of a bag. You can kind of stop whenever you want. If you don't stop in time, then bad stuff happens to you, but you're then going to use these colored cubes, placing them on cards and abilities. You're attacking a big bad guy, and you're trying to win. And it's cooperative. It's a lot of fun. A great game. My number 99, Invincible, the hero building game. There's a lot of games with Invincible in their title, so that's why we have to specify. My number 98 is the first, not the first game the first two games you can play solo. This is the one you can only play solo, and that is Final Girl. Final Girl is a great game. It is a re-implementation of an older game called Hostage Negotiator, and the game will really just sort of take you through a horror movie, and you're the final girl who's trying to survive the onslaught of whatever killer it happens to be. She looks rather dour there. There's a whole bunch of stuff now. There's more. I think there's 20 sets or more. There's 3 sets of 6, and then there's a couple of standalones. So, yeah, at least 20 different sets right now, all with each one comes with a different killer, a different setting, and then you have the characters that you can sort of swap in and out between the sets. I don't watch a lot of horror movies, but this is a great solo game. It's solo-focused, solo-designed, and it's a great way to sort of sit down and have this heroic adventure in a horror movie genre, if that's your thing, or even if it's not, like me. Now, the game is quite lucky. Yeah, you're going to be, using cards, but you don't draw the cards. You just buy the ones you want. But there's a lot of dice rolling, and so that can make it a little swingy. But it's a solo game, so who cares? And it's a lot of fun, and it's very thematic and very fun. That's my number 98, Final Girl. My number 97 is a new game. It is not the newest game on the list. It might actually be. Well, I don't know. But this is a game that just never goes poorly. This is a game that no matter where I play it or with whom, it always hits, and it always hits just right. That is not Final Girl, number 97, Hot Streak. Hot Streak is a racing game. It is mascots that are racing, and you are betting on them. They're going to run around. You're going to sort of throw cards into the mix to influence the race outcome, and then try and have the most money. It's not a serious racing game. It's not a serious gambling game. It's not a serious game at all, but it is a lot of fun. The pieces are very engaging too, so it makes it the kind of thing people are going to want to pick up and look at. But it's just, it works with all player counts, and it sings, and it's fast. It is just so fun. 97, Hot Streak. All right, well, Hot Streak looks kind of compelling. My next one does not look all that compelling, but it is a lot of fun. It's the first Euro game on my list. Not the only one for sure. But this is my number 96, which is Carnegie. Carnegie is loosely themed about the life of Andrew Carnegie, early industrialist. But really, this is a game about sort of building up your own little engine, your own little scoring engine that you're going to be having. There's some almost worker placement-like aspects of it. There's sort of do tasks and follow. It's honestly a hard game to describe, yet it's a really interesting level of heaviness. There's some route building. There's just so much to like about this game, and I really do. It's not one that I said, Hot Streak kind of sells itself. Carnegie, I have to work a little harder to sell, but everybody, if you like heavier Euro games, I think you're really going to have a good time with it. So that's my number 96, Carnegie. Let's go on to my number 95. 95's been on the list for a long time. It's been higher than this before, but the game was sort of, I won't say killed by, but hurt by the addition of an expansion that added an enormous box. It's one of the worst big boxes, and it makes me not want to play the game, even though I really love it. And that game is Everdell. There we go. Everdell is a beautiful game. Very, light artwork, but kind of tough as nails worker placement and card play. You're building a tableau of 15 cards. They're going to have different effects. You've got workers that you're going to get more and more each of the game's seasons. There are goals you're trying to go for. You're trying to sort of prolong your timeline as long as you can so that you can get as many points as possible. It works really well with two. I love two-player Everdell. Componentry is interesting. It's got this huge, you can see this tree here that makes it, it's kind of a byword at this point, but it's difficult to see. But the artwork is fantastic. The gameplay is just so fun and engaging. It's the kind of thing anybody can get into. And it's a great world to play around in. There's a bunch of other Everdells now, but I really still like the original. So that's my number 95, Everdell. My number 94, I'm surprised this one fell so far on the list because I really enjoy all these games. And part of it is that this game kind of splits the spotlight with another game that's kind of the same. And the game is called Seven Wonders Duel. Seven Wonders Duel is a great game. It's a two-player card drafting game. You're going to set up the cards in this pyramid, and you're sort of tensely taking cards every turn and trying not to reveal too many good things for your opponent. The symbols are really easy to get into. The rules are fast and fast to learn. There's a couple of expansions, and the expansions kind of make it worse. I like them, but they add so many symbols that it really kind of muddles up the game a little bit. But the core game is really good. There's another version of it called Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth, or something about Middle-earth. Lord of the Rings Duel? I can't remember. But there's a Lord of the Rings themed version of it. It's also really good, but the original just hits so well. It's fast, it's light, it's the kind of tense back and forth game that I really like. That's my number 94, Seven Wonders Duel. All right, my number 93 has been in my top 10 before. And it has fallen a little bit, not because the game's any worse, but because it's just not one that I get played as often as I'd like to anymore. And that's because the game is a little bit divisive. It's got a real time aspect and then a chaos aspect. The game is number 93, Galaxy Trucker. Galaxy Trucker, you are going to be building in real time very well built one. You're trying to design it so that everything is in its ideal place, but it's on a timer and everyone's building it at the same time. And then after you've built your spaceship, you're going to take a lot of hits your ship or bombarded with asteroids, else it happens to be. And then if you make it back, you're able to get some money, and then you do it a couple more times, and that's the game. This is a game that is very chaotic, and lots of people don't like that, but I think it's so much fun. So that's my number 93, Galaxy Trucker. My number 92 is Sky Team. Sky Team is a two-player cooperative game. I think it won Spiel des Jahres a year or so ago. Um, uh, yeah, it did. And cooperatively playing, going to be doing so without talking, going to or place dice out and try and communicate based upon what you place rather than your words. A plane, interesting premise for a like the internet. That's all right. See how they communicate. In now to if it will show up. Federation is a game that I have described as tapestry in space. Well, it looks like, for whatever reason, I can't pull up the picture today. It's a good up these space tracks, and you're dealing with the Galactic Senate, and and you're trying to sort of get the most points after a certain number of rounds, but you've got these interesting ways that you're going to be able to score and special powers you're going to be able to get. It's a really interesting way to sort of set up a game. Like I said, it feels a lot like Tapestry, which is a game that I might talk about later, but it's sort of got its own legs to it. Great space theme without being a spacey sort of 4X game. Federation is my 91. Since apparently I'm stuck in the corner and I can't show the pictures, let me see if I can. Well, for some reason, all of the menus are stuck today. Let's try Shift. Of course, is a system that's been around forever and ever, and many of the versions have rules that I just don't like. Marvel Zombies takes all those rules and throws them away. Marvel Zombies lets you be either the heroes as people or the heroes in their zombie form. You're either fighting for zombie-ness or you're fighting to put the zombies in their place. It is cooperative. It's challenging. It's just a really interesting game, and it takes a fun kind of goofy IP and adds it so well into the Zombicide rules set. I really enjoy Marvel Zombies. Now, I do wish there were a way to store it. It's in a couple of huge boxes. It's very difficult and inaccessible, but it's a great game, and it's definitely the best in the Zombicide genre. Let's go on to my number 89. My number 89 is a game that I think I'm the only person in the world who plays, other than people who play it with me. Codex, the card time strategy game. Codex is a weird game. It's kind of a combination between Mage Wars and I don't know, several other games. But you've got a character. You've got this book of spell cards, or cards, not spells, but characters you're going to be pulling out, and you're sort of trying to maybe it's like the sort of Magic the Gathering dueling mage type game as well. But there's several different character types with different heroes in it, and it's a weird, bizarre game that I'm pretty sure is impossible to find because I think it's long out of print. I really enjoy it. I wish I wish that I got a chance to play it more, and that might eventually take it off my list if I can't. But let me see if I can. If the pictures are working again, it looks like perhaps they might be. Share screen window. Here we go. Yeah, so you can kind of see if it will pull up here. You've got your sort of play mat, and you're playing out the cards, and you've got this sort of. It was one of the first games I ever saw where you played a card every turn to kind of increase your mana pool, and then you'd spend it. That's a common thing in games like Lorcana these days, but it was new for me in Codex. It's a great game if you can find it. It's definitely worth your time. That's my number 89, Codex. My number 88 is a game I've talked about many times. It's one of the best Halloween and horror-themed games. This is The Bloody Inn. The Bloody Inn, you take on the role of an innkeeper working at the family inn with your family, and you are trying to make money by killing people. You're able to make some money by selling people, renting people a room, but you'll get more money if you kill people and bury them in your backyard. And so it's at its core, it's a card game, and you're manipulating these cards. Every card has a different action it's good for, and you're trying to use the cards as efficiently as possible. But also, at the end of the round, you have to pay money for all the cards in your hand, so you don't want to have too many. And then, you're killing people, but then if you don't bury the body, then the police come and arrest you, and that's terrible. It's a weird game, but it's a really fun one, and it's just not like anything else. I think it's actually back in print now. I saw it recently at a store. So go check it out. That's my number 88, The Bloody Inn. My number 87 is a game that I changed my tune on. Originally, I wasn't all that impressed with it. But after I gave it another try, I really took a shine to it. This game is Australia. Australia is a game where you're in Australia, and you're building railway networks and farms and collecting resources, and then suddenly zombies and Cthulhu show up and start destroying everything. And so it's a weird game. If you're playing it like that route building game, you're going to be disappointed. You're really trying to, you've got a few turns to kind of build yourself up so that you can take down these big bads once they start showing up. And it's one of those games where you'll use, you have time, and so whoever's behind on the time track will be the next person in turn order, which means you can do a couple of little actions or one big action, and then other people or the game itself will have its chance to go at you. It is not cooperative, but it is a lot of fun. I like it because it's not like anything else. Martin Wallace, I don't always love his games, but this one he really found some magic in this one. I really enjoy Australia. My number 86, if it'll pull up, is Deep Rock Galactic. Deep Rock Galactic is based on a video game that I've never played. You are some dwarves, you're on an asteroid or a planet or something, and you're moving around in this underground, fighting off bugs, trying to complete objectives, and basically collect wealth and bring it home. It's a really interesting game because it's very open, right? There's some exploration, but kind of the fun thing about it is you can drill a path through the walls. You're not bound to what the game offers you. You can kind of go off and do your own thing too. It's not a sandbox game. It's cooperative. It's great cooperation. There's only 4 characters in it, but they all feel unique and fun, and they all have their role. It works well with any player count. There are missions that are really hard. There are missions that are really easy. The game kind of allows you to adjust the difficulty pretty easily as well. There's just a lot to be loved about this game. Now, okay, there's a lot that's not to be loved. There's a lot of randomness, and it's in a huge box. But the game itself is just so much fun, and there's some expansions for it. It's very expensive, just be aware of that. But I really enjoy this one. It's one I keep going back to. If I wanted to have a dungeon crawl experience with somebody who doesn't want to play something that's going to take hours, this is one I'd bring out because it gives you that sort of, hey, here we are, one scenario, let's go at it, let's have fun. I really like Deep Rock Galactic. Someday I'll even play the video game. My number 85 is an older game. This is Five Tribes. Five Tribes has been around forever, and it's sort of a Mancala style game. You've got this board, and I would love to show, but I don't know what's going on with the internet. You've got a board, you've got these meeples out there, you're going to pick them up, move them around, and drop them off at various spots. At the final spot, you're going to do the action, and if you happen to clear off all of the things from that spot, you get to put out one of your camels, which is worth points. There's points for everything. There's points for sets of cards. There's points for placing the camels. There's points for various equipment things you'll get. You can just get points from some characters. There's these jinns, which are like, spirits, and you're going to take them, and they'll give you different bonus actions or ways to score or whatever it happens to be. You sort of shake the palm tree at the end, and points fall down. But it's a great time while you're there. It's best at 2. If you're playing at 4, you really can't. It kind of drags a little because you can't really plan for your turn because the state of play is always changing. But at 2 players, you can have sometimes turns right back to back, and you can set yourself up for stuff. It really sings at 2. There's 2 expansions for it, big expansions. The first one is really good. Second one's mediocre. But I really enjoy Five Tribes, no matter how you slice it. My number 84 is another game that I was kind of wrong about. I didn't know how much I loved it until I finally gave it a try. This is Obsession. Obsession is sort of a British period drama board game. You are some noble house that's fallen on hard times, and you're trying to invite people over for activities to improve your status in the community. You're building up parts of your house. You're finding the right guests, the most prestigious guests, and ultimately trying to court the favor of an eligible bachelor and bachelorette in town. Thematically, it's just like any of those shows, Downton Abbey, whatever else it happens to be. It's great. It's a game that people will automatically jump in and want to role play, even though it's not a role-playing game. At its core, the rules are very simple, but there's a lot of expansions and a lot of, not a lot of expansions, there's a lot of content in there and a lot of things to explore and try. It's a really fun game, and one that, with the right person, if you know someone who likes that type of TV show or movie, this game is going to hit for them because it grabs that theme by the throat and drags it to your table. So it's really good. Let's go to my number 83. My number 83 is Sail. Sail is one of the best trick-taking games out there. It is a cooperative trick-taking game. You and your partner are working together without communicating, trying to sail a ship from start to finish, and you're doing that by playing tricks. There's 3 different suits of cards, and then the higher cards have one symbol, and the medium have another, and the bottom ones have another. And the way those symbols interact is going to help you move. If you get the higher cards, your boat's going to move toward the person who won the trick. There's also a kraken that's attacking. That's not good. And the lower cards make that happen. There's also Sail Legacy, which is not out yet and I haven't played, but I'm really looking forward to because I love legacy games, I love Sail, and I think this will be just a great one. So it's a tiny box too. There's also a great board game arena implementation if you want to play it there. It's a delightful little trick-taking game. Unlike anything out there, it also looks pretty good too. So that's my number 83, Sail. So 83 was a really small box game. My number 82 is the opposite. It is a huge game. This is Voidfall. Voidfall is a devourer of tables. Voidfall is a big, long, space-themed Euro game. You're not really doing the whole explore stuff that much. What you're really trying to do is build up your own point generating engine. There's a bunch of different characters with special abilities. Mostly what you're doing on your turn is you're going to play a card and you're going to do a couple of actions on there. It's really simple. The game, however, is not simple. The game is very difficult to kind of learn. It's one that you want to be taught by somebody. I learned it from the rules, and that was really rough. But if you can find somebody who will teach it to you, it's a great experience. It's definitely one of Mind Clash's best games. There's some others I like better, but Voidfall is just really good. I love teaching the game. If you find me at a convention and you want to learn it, I think I teach Voidfall pretty well. But it is a huge pain to set up. You're looking at a 45 minutes to an hour just to set the game up because there's a lot there and a lot of different pieces to sort of get your hands around, and it takes up so much space. But once you're there, it's great. If you like space type games, but you're not looking to sort of go out and have a war, this is one to think about. I really enjoy Voidfall. Last up for today is number 81, and that one is Ostia. Ostia is a weird Japanese game. It's something pirate themed. I think that's around Greece or Italy or somewhere. I don't know. The theme isn't really there. But what you're doing is you've got a little kind of Mancala rondel or Mancala type system as well, and you're going to pick up all of your ships and then drop them around, and then do the action of the space you land on. There's only a few spaces. There's only, I think, 6 actions you can do, but there's always some kinds of bonuses to interact with. And as you kind of send your ships out and do things, you're going to be able to interact with more things. And you're going to be able to get technologies, or sorry, not technologies, buildings. And the buildings are going to make things more efficient or make things cheaper. And then you're going to slowly upgrade your ships to better ships that count double. And there's goals to score, and there's an expansion with pirates that's just okay. But the base game is really interesting. I really like Ostia. I think it's easier to find now, which is good. But it's one of those, usually Japanese games kind of come in 2 flavors, small trick-taking game or Ostia type. And Ostia type is really good. This game fires, and it's not hard to play. It looks like it's going to be complicated, but it really isn't. It's engaging and fun. I really like Ostia. So, there you go. I don't know what happened there. The StreamYard platform, for some reason, likes to try and kick me out at sometimes. I don't know why. Hopefully this all ended up recording okay. I had a good time talking about my top 80, top or bottom, number 100 to 81. Let's just say it like that. I know that's correct. I'm going to come back next week for more Wednesday Whimsy, and I will talk about my my next 20 games on the top 100 list, number 80 through 61. And we're going to keep doing this every week until I get to the end. So that's what I've got for you. I hope you'll come back and join me for more top 100 game goodness. Until then, I'm going to wish you safe travels, courage when you need it, and I'll hope to see you back again next time on another episode of Wednesday Whimsy. Bye-bye.